My goodness, this is a full house we have here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an incredibly difficult job. I have the honor/misfortune to follow probably the best public speaker in Luxembourg. I'll do my best, but I also am perfectly aware that I'm what's keeping you from networking and recreational drinking. So again, I will moderate what I say to go ahead and to do that. And then there's the third thing. We had a little bit of a confusion because I thought I was the second speaker instead of being the last speaker. So the speech I wrote is totally useless to me now. But that's fine. You know, let's bear with us, and I have a few things that I want to say, so I'll see if I can quickly put it together in my head and say it in some semblance that goes ahead and makes sense. The first thing, a little bit about AmCham. If you see our logo, it's the Luxembourg lion and the American flag fused together. There is no part of it that's more important than the other part. They both are equal. The American Chamber of Commerce in Luxembourg wouldn't be able to be what it is, and it's the biggest private chamber of commerce in Luxembourg, if it wasn't in Luxembourg, and if it wasn't a fusion organization that reflects Luxembourgish values combined together with American values. And I have to say, I'm very proud of that. And since the largest majority of you all are associated with AmCham, I thank you for helping us over the past 27 years to go ahead and take a little chamber of commerce that started out with 85 American companies and growing it into the biggest private chamber of commerce in the country. A chamber of commerce that does four things. We do networking in English because we're just not so good at the other languages. We provide information about how Luxembourg works because Luxembourg is a great place, but it's a little bit of an insider crowd, and sometimes you need a little bit of help figuring out what to do or what not to do and who to do it with or who not to do it with. We do a bit of problem solving because we say that Luxembourg is a first mover country, but honestly, Luxembourg is an incredibly quick second mover country because at Luxembourg, we a little bit want to make sure that somebody else has tried it out and gotten it right and gotten it approved at the EU Commission, and then we'll do it very quickly. So we're a very, very, very good second mover country. And then the last thing we like to do is we like to, on occasion when we have an opportunity, talk to decision makers and talk to the government on behalf of the group that we represent, which is fundamentally English-speaking international companies and their employees, to explain what our constituency needs and to do it in the context of why what we're asking for is in the best interest of the country. We do not want favors. What we want is we want to do things that are good for Luxembourg and at the same time good for our constituency. So, okay, I can check that box. I have that one go ahead and taken care of. Now, for this tonight, I deeply thank BCEE for allowing us this gorgeous room and the opportunity to go ahead and be here, listen to our Prime Minister, and to be together to go ahead and share fellowship. Madam Thoma, from our team to your team, thank you so much for hosting us tonight. And by the same token, I want to thank Lux, because having a great room is nice, but having food and drinks to go ahead and go with it kind of sometimes makes it even a little bit more fun. So Jerome and your colleagues in Lux, we appreciate you for the partnership too. I think the three of us together make a pretty good partnership. And I hope you all are having a good time tonight. If you are, join me in saying thank you to them. Now, I could, and I've had a lot of people who've talked to me, say, oh, you have the Prime Minister coming. I said, yeah. And they said, oh, well, you can tell him that he needs to fix this, and you can tell him he needs to fix that, and you can tell him he needs to do this. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not what we're here for tonight, and that's not what I'm going to do. I may take the liberty to go ahead on behalf of our constituency during this election year to go ahead and send the Prime Minister and perhaps some of the other political parties a letter with some gentle advice and suggestions. I think that that's fair. But that's not why we're here tonight. Why we're here tonight is to go ahead and to share fellowship together. As the Prime Minister has said, this is the last chance we have to say Happy New Year. And I'm proud that we can do that together as a group. You know, AmCham, one of the ways in which AmCham reflects Luxembourg is that AmCham is a melting pot organization, just like this country is a melting pot country, just like my country of America is a melting pot country. And I'm very proud of our demographics. We have 30% American-affiliated companies, not bad, but only 30%. Still, that includes a lot of big fish and a lot of little fish that are worth knowing, but 30% of our membership is American companies. 20% is purely Luxembourgish companies, like BCEE, like La Lux, like the post office. That's great. I'm thrilled to pieces that that's 20% of our membership of Luxembourgish companies. And 50% of our membership comes from the entire rest of the planet. And it's all entrepreneurs and business people who believe in commerce, believe in competition, but also want to do it fairly wisely and well. So we are, like Luxembourg and like America, a fusion organization, and if we are successful, is because we follow the precept that fusion organizations are the best way to do things. And as the Prime Minister has said, fusion organizations meet each other in the middle. Not at the left, not at the right, but we meet in the middle. And in our case, we're also proud that we also get to do that with the Romanian Chamber of Commerce, who are our dear friends, and with the British Chamber of Commerce, who sort of speaks the same language that we do, and some of our other partners and friends. I would be remiss if I didn't say that education is extremely important to us. And we are very pleased that the head of the ISL is here with us tonight. We're very pleased that the head of St. George is with us tonight. And we are particularly pleased that Mr. Lenners and Mia Owadi from the Luxembourg Hotel and Restaurant School in Diekirch are with us tonight, because that school is fabulous. And I know a week ago, Ambassador Bartel and I got to go up to Diekirch, have a tour of the school, and go ahead and be there when Apple presented an award to this Luxembourgish school for being a leader in education in the world. And they're both here, so if you two will stand up, we're going to give you a round of applause for what you're doing to train our young people. And they both are Luxembourgish, and most of their teaching staff are Luxembourgish, and their clientele comes from all over the planet. Another Luxembourg success story. Okay, now I've got that box checked. Oh, this is kind of fun. There's really only one more thing that I want to do before I join you for recreational drinking and networking and all of that kind of thing. And that's, again, I was thinking, how can I say this in some meaningful sort of way? And I remembered, and what I wanted to do is, it's fine to talk about statistics and those kinds of things, but you know, at the end of the day, we make decisions based on our hearts. And if you can emotionally connect with someone, and that's the best way at the end of the day to make the best and the longest lasting decision. So I a little bit want to, forgive me for saying, but I a little bit want to say to the Prime Minister who we the rest of the audience are, because we are in Luxembourg by choice. Nobody dragged us here and tied us and made us go ahead and come here. We came to Luxembourg by foot, decided it was pretty cool, and decided we wanted to stay and we wanted to contribute to go ahead and make Luxembourg stronger. So in increasing numbers, we are getting second citizenships where we can, and in some cases, we're giving up our primary citizenship to get Luxembourgish citizenship. I'll admit, it's a little bit tough to learn the Luxembourgish language, but we're working on it. And we, in our way, are committed to this country, and somehow or other, I wanted to a little bit pass on the flavor of that to make an emotional connection, which in some simple way, which perhaps the Prime Minister might remember, and maybe on some other occasion uses a story to sell somebody else. And I remember a number of years ago that I was in the habit once a year of meeting Tom Donahue, who was at that time, the head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which is the biggest trade organization on the planet. But I had the privilege for a number of years to meet Tom Donahue either in Brussels or in Paris when he was on his way back to the U.S. From Davos and doing all that stuff that gets done at Davos. And one year when we were having lunch together, he said, when I was in Davos, everybody is asking me, how do I get the Americans? How do I keep the Americans? What do I have to do to go ahead and convince the Americans to go ahead and come? He said, the truth of the matter is people overthink that kind of thing. At the end of the day, life is really very simple. He said, so what I've been telling them, and it sinks in, is I've been telling them that it's really a very simple formula. And if we want to say it's about money, okay, we'll use that as part of it. Money wants to be safe. It wants to feel respected and appreciated, and it wants to have an opportunity to grow. The largest majority of all of us here tonight are business people with companies, with jobs. Yes, we love our wives, we love our families, we love our partners, I hope we love our children. But we are here in Luxembourg because we think Luxembourg is a good place to do business. Forgive me for saying, but we're not here for the weather. Forgive me for saying we're not here for the vibrant music scene. We are here for business. And Luxembourg for many years has been a great place to go ahead and to do business. And because of that, we have come and we have helped the country to grow and prosper. By the way, I forgot two things, so let me do a quick aside. I forgot to say that it was my pleasure tonight to go ahead and introduce the Japanese ambassador. This is the first time that he's with us when we go ahead and do something. So, and he's pretty new still. So please join me in welcoming the Japanese ambassador. And I likewise have to say that among our guests who are here tonight, the youngest person who is here is 18 years of age. And she's the daughter of the Polish ambassador. And she is, in all likelihood, the next generation female version of Tiger Woods, being perhaps the best female golfer in the world. So, okay, that's your challenge, but we believe in you. And she's sweet and charming and doesn't think too much of herself. She's just a normal person. But my goodness, she's an incredible golfer. And we wish you all health and success with going ahead and doing it. And I apologize for embarrassing you a little bit tonight, but get used to it. It's going to continue to happen. So, okay. So I've told you that, so we are business people, and because we're business people, what we want is we want to be safe, we want to be appreciated and respected, and we want for ourselves, for our families, and for our children to have the opportunity to prosper, and to do that with people we like and care about. And we like Luxembourg, so we want to do that, sir, here. If you can help us continue to do that, we will be delighted if you continue to be our Prime Minister. And having done that with my speech totally a mess because I had to turn everything upside down, I invite you to come and join us for fellowship, for talking together. I hope the schedule of the Prime Minister allows him. Oh, shoot, there's one more group that I forgot to mention. This is not a setup. I promise it's not a setup. We have 4 people who are with us tonight from the Ukrainian cybersecurity section of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. We and some of our AmCham colleagues have had the occasion to talk and discuss with them a little bit about the possibilities of helping them in some sorts of ways to go ahead and do stuff. We believe in them. We believe that they are honest. We're not convinced that the entire country of Ukraine is always completely 100% honest and safe and a good place to do business. But these guys and this nice lady, we think that they're okay, and we like the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. So when we're out networking on around, please pay attention to go ahead and shake hands with them. They're really nice people. They love their country. They're doing the best they can. And being in cybersecurity when you're up against the bear is not necessarily an easy job either. Now, having said all that, one more time, we want to be safe. We want to feel respected and appreciated, and we want the opportunity for success for ourselves, for our children, and for our companies. If you believe in that, join me with a round of applause for That's Who We Are. And now, before I screw up and mess anything up, I invite you all to join us for drinks and entertainment and recreational networking. Thank you so much.